I'm Greg Shapiro, giving the EU the respect they deserve by making fun of them just like the US. This week, immigration and a dirty little secret that no one is talking about. Stay tuned. Immigration, as in, give me your tired, your poor, or these days, give them back. And speaking of give them back, there's immigration in Europe. From Greece to Italy to Hungary. This looks like a job for a unified EU refugee policy, but not quite. Here's what Hungary's Viktor Orban had to say.
But just between us.
Yes?
The problem is not a European problem.
Okay, then whose problem is it?
The problem is a German problem. Nobody would like to stay in Hungary.
A German problem? Yeesh. Germany, whose immigration policy is best known for this. Yeah, I said it. As a famous John Cleese character once said.
Don't mention the war. I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it all right.
You know what? Finally, it might be okay to mention the war, because while you might have expected immigrants in Germany to be received like this,
officers fired pepper spray into the crowd after they broke through police lines.
In fact, they're being received like this. I know! And it's not just one German town. It's Frankfurt, Dortmund, little towns whose names I can't pronounce. The German chancellor has guaranteed admission of up to 800,000 refugees. That's like the equivalent of in America, Donald Trump warmly welcoming all of Mexico as the 51st state. It's as if, dare I say, they're being greeted as liberators. And in a way, that's in fact what they are. Why? Because of a very simple fact that involves poop. In fact, no one is talking about it. The European population. It's shrinking. Now in America, the population is replenishing itself quite nicely, thank you. Everyone's having 2.2 babies and there's enough immigration. But in Europe, there are two trends. One, families are having fewer babies. And second, life expectancy is increasing. Both these trends lead to one uncomfortable, inevitable question. Europe, when you're 100 years old and your kids are struggling to keep up the economy, who is going to wipe your butt? Now, while most of Europe is running away from this Scheiße situation, there's one country that is not afraid to go in and get their hands dirty. Germany says, welcome. Meanwhile, the immigrants say, you invited us here for what? Hey, it's a living. Maybe with Germany leading the way, the rest of Europe will follow. Then again, Hungary is putting up anti-immigrant posters. Denmark is taking out ads in Lebanese newspapers basically saying, don't come here. And in reaction to this horrifying image, the UK Independence Party's Peter Bucklich tweeted this. The little Syrian boy was well clothed and well fed. He died because his parents were greedy. What do you say in response to that? I mean, the ironic thing is he wouldn't have been able to send that tweet from his iPhone without the innovation of a child from a Syrian refugee, Steve Jobs. Personally, my brain keeps going back to, you should be put on a boat. Peter Bucklich, you should be put on a boat and sent out of this country, off of the continent, which, come to think of it, is how the Pilgrims got kicked out in the first place. And they started their own country, eventually becoming Donald Trump.